everyone, welcome back to the channel and thank you for tuning in. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Layla, the Lenormand reader, and today folks we are doing a pick-a-card reading for what is ahead or what is the most important set of events for the coming year. So I've got 5 different pieces here. I've got 3 stones and 2 charms. We have the Angelite Stone. We have the scissors charm. This is the Opalite, the key, and the Goldstone. So take your time tuning into these different charms and stones, see which one you want to tune into for our pick-a-card reading, and you will find the timestamps in the description box. I want to just talk a little bit more about the question and set some context for us for this reading. So we're just kicking off the year, and I also do the horoscope forecast, and I have another pick-a-card reading regarding what is ahead for us in 2021, in the year ahead. But for this reading, I want to focus on the main events that are going to stick out for us in the coming year. So you might like to combine this pick-a-card reading with others. It's always fun to do different readings and to layer them in a really personal way. So I will see you in your reading. All right, Angelite group, here we are with your stone nearby and my shuffle deck. And for your reading, I want to do an augmented line of 7. Remember that we are looking at the key events that are ahead for you in the coming year. So an augmented line of 7 is short for a yearly reading, but remember that we are focusing on a key event. So it's going to help us actually focus better. Let's go ahead and shuffle these cards a little bit more and let's deal them out. Okay, Angelite group, here is your line of 7 augmented with a couple of cards here, and with the garden in the middle of it all. What is clear to us is that community, society, and that environment, that social environment of which you are part, is at the center of your year in 2021. We have a few tricky cards here on the left, and we have more relationship cards on the right. So it's pretty clear to me that people are important for you this year, and so events around people, specific people or a certain community, are going to be the main focus for you in the coming year. So let's weave these cards together and put this augmented line of 7 into a whole picture. We have the coffin, snake, and lily at the outset. Now I have to say that a number of things can come through here, and what I'm thinking is health. Both the coffin and the lily can be about health. So when we see them together, there could be a bit of an issue here with regards to health. What's interesting is that the snake is usually a pretty challenging card, but in the context of health, it's actually not all that serious. It's usually associated with things like colds and flu. It can sometimes be associated with digestion, because of its the imagery of the snake. It has to do with pipelines and all of that winding stuff. So it can be associated with digestion and digestive health. These are possibilities, and remember that these correspondences are limited to what we could do with cards, right? Anything that you need a specific feedback or expert input on, you need to go to the right expert, right? The thing about the coffin and lily with the snake in between is that there could be some kind of ending, a quiet time, a quiet phase, and in the context of health, maybe you had to take some time out. With the garden, letter, woman, and ring, it's pretty clear to me that you're going to meet someone whom you're going to stick with, because the ring is at the end of the line and she is probably going to be supportive. We also see that through the positive column here. Well, let's build these cards a little bit slower. Going back to the coffin, snake, and lily, it is also possible that we are looking at things related to work. The lily is about career, your life path in general, and with the garden, the idea of working with others is also highlighted. And with the coffin and snake, it's really possible that you might have ended a job or that you are looking to end a job. Of course, we are looking at the year ahead, so we're best interpreting the cards, all of them, in light of the future. So you could be making a big move this year, okay? And this is highlighted through the cards here. The lily is also a big card in the sense that it's not just the day-to-day stuff that it covers in terms of work, but it's also your longer life path. And so with the coffin and snake, I really feel, Angelite group, that you could be at the end of a phase. You are ready to move on, and you will probably move on. The garden letter, woman, and ring. So this seems to be an important relationship that comes through for you this year. The thing about the garden letter is that there might be some invitations, some applications, there's frequent communication with this person. And the thing about the ring is that it is pretty continuous and it is pretty committed. So I think that this is someone you end up teaming up with. This is someone you feel you can connect with. And this can be on the job, like we said. So obviously this can mean someone who gives you a new job, or in the context of health, she can be like a health practitioner or someone who is supportive. Because of the ring, especially that it's on the right-hand side of the line, it can be about these continuous matters. So it seems to be a continuous support or constant contact that you have with this woman. It is also someone you commit to, and I think it is someone you have a good relationship with. So whether this is about finding some support for your health matters or getting someone to help you get a new job, this woman comes through to bring that through for you. The thing about the garden in the center, in the context of this line, is that you might need to network a little bit to find this person. You might need to be out and about with people, putting out your interest, asking about who you can be in touch with in order to help you manifest your goals in the coming phase. What is really nice is the rider, garden, and anchor. This is a really positive triplet. The anchor, you see it at the bottom of the augmented line. The bottom side has to do with what manifests. And so the anchor is very strong, very grounded, and very, it's very tangible in its energy. So it's pretty clear to me that, this networking and this communication is going to lead to positive results. The anchor and garden can also mean that you feel grounded and you feel really part of the community. And the rider is active in the sense that it encourages you to reach out, to participate, to be proactive. And so any way you look at these cards, the social element is really highlighted, and it's important for you to play your part and to be part of the group, to give support, to receive support, to really give and take with others in this community. Now, in the context of work, the rider and anchor with the garden are very clear about finding a new place. It seems to be a new place in light of these triplets here, this triplet here. And it also points to positive results. So with the rider and anchor, it has to do with positive feedback, landing on the right solution, getting that feedback. And it's very clear with the letter here that you do get the support, you do hear back. So this can be some really important news that comes to you this year. And I think it has to do with this establishing yourself either with a new person for health reasons or in a new job through this wonderful connection. You feel solid, anchored, and grounded. So these are some really positive cards. Now let's move on to the diamonds. We have the lily, rider, letter, and anchor. I feel this has to do with a job application in the context of work, and we see with the anchor, you do get it. I think you do land a new job. It is positive. The lily is generally about career, and these two cards are about communication. So very clear how this is panning out. And it's really nice to see the anchor on the bottom side of the augmented line. In the context of health, you might need to send out some kind of interest, to reach out, to ask people. Getting second opinions is also really encouraged, Angelite group. It's really important that you reach out, that you're always in touch, and that you are also gathering the information that you need to make decisions for yourself. So these are some really helpful cards. I think they are very solid, and so it's pretty clear to me that you are able to make tangible progress. Now the snake, rider, woman, and anchor is also supportive. It's pretty clear to me that this woman comes through, whether we're looking at the anchor and woman or the rider and woman. The thing about the snake is that it's a bit tricky because you are going to need to be patient and diplomatic. So it's very important that you play it right, that you are, discreet and you're pleasant, and you're doing the right things in order to get the attention of this woman. So I feel that she could be someone important, someone of influence. And if that's the case, then it's important, that you wind your way around this don't be too aggressive, don't be pushy, doing all the right things and, being that person who is attractive and who would attract this supportive woman into your life. I also want to add, because of the snake and brighter and the idea of the snake being in this slightly challenging triplet here, not everything you hear is going to be correct or supportive, and not every person you meet is going to be wanting to help you out or wanting to come through. So it's really important that you, for one, be selective about the kinds of people you are going to pursue for their support, and also you don't have to share with everyone. Remember that the garden is about community, so the snake here asks you to keep in mind that not everyone needs to hear what you have to say or know what your plans are about. So keep some things under your hat. And wrapping up with the outer diamond, we have the coffin, rider, ring, and anchor. So this is a really supportive diamond for the idea that you are ending something and moving into something else. The coffin is on the left, and with the rider and anchor, definitely you're coming to the end of a road in a certain area of your life, probably career, probably also health, that the idea that you had been maybe taking it easy, taking it slower. Both of these are possible. With the anchor, and in the context of ending matters, it's really important that you be willing to bring something to a close. And then we have the rider, ring, and anchor, which is pretty opposite to what we're seeing with the coffin. And this is about committing to something. So this is where we see that you're in a transition. Something is ending and you are going to be committing to something else. So this is really supportive for work. You end a job, you move into a new one, and over the next phase, which is the whole year ahead, you are going to be sticking with this new involvement, new job, this new relationship that proves supportive. So overall, Angelite group, it is very clear to me that the key events for you in the coming year revolve around community and society. They revolve around bringing a phase of your life to a head and bringing yourself into a new commitment through the support of this woman. The social element is very clear in your cards. And another key advice that you might want to carry and keep in mind throughout the coming year is that discretion, diplomacy, and the idea of being part of the group and being a good team player are very much highlighted for you. So let me know how you like these ideas. Leave me your thoughts and comments. I am really looking forward to them. And until we meet again, take very good care of yourself and very best of luck with the coming year. Hello Scissors group, here we are with your reading, and I've got my deck shuffled and your charm sitting here next to us. So Scissors group, we are looking at the key events for you in the coming year, and for your reading I'll be doing a double line of 5. My deck is always shuffled like I said, and I'm just going to shuffle a little bit more and deal out your double line of 5. Here we go. All right, Scissors group, there are a few interesting things going on here for you. I think the main theme is work and money. The fox, tower, lily, and fish are all about, or potentially about, work and money. And so when they all figure together, they are really bringing out this theme. So that's going to be a key focus for you. We also have the gentleman in the center of your bottom line. So this brings up an important relationship for you as well. I am seeing a new beginning through the child, as well as the letter and moon, which can point to an offer. So let's go ahead and weave these lines and find out more about what are the key events for you next year, Scissors group. Starting with the top line, we have the fox, child, tower, letter, and fish. I really feel this can be a new offer. The fox can be about the job. The tower can point to the job as well by reference to corporate buildings. And the fish is also about money and prosperity and abundance and practical things. So all three of these cards figure together. It's probably bringing up this theme. And with the child and letter, there can be an offer. So you could be moving into a new job this year. This can be a key event for you. In the very least, you start looking for one, you apply for one. Now, another way to look at the cards is in terms of investments. So the fox and child would then point to some kind of agent or someone who helps you with this, or possibly a new strategy, a new tactic. okay? Because the fox is about strategy and cleverness, and it is a sly character that is always looking for ways to achieve its goals. So when it comes to money, I like to see the fox and snake as well. The child and tower, this points to something for the long term. So you could be taking new steps when it comes to your money, but the thing about the tower being in the middle here is about focusing on the long term. So make sure that whatever seeds you are sowing are going to unfold over the longer term. I have to say, Scissors Group, that the tower can also refer to retirement, pension planning, and these aspects of our money that are related to the long term. And with the letter and fish, there could be some paperwork, legal things that you're looking after in terms of your money, or setting up this new strategy for the long term. So this can be a really key event for you in the coming year. And I would also say that this is an advice or suggestion for you to pursue your long-term security. Now, if neither of these are working out, or you don't feel any of these are resonating, it could just more generally, the cards could more generally just tell you that this is about starting a new chapter. And the fox here can point to some kind of disappointment or someone who had been tricky, and maybe at this point you are deciding to move on to something new. But because of the fish here and the tower and fox, I really think that your practical affairs, your long-term security, and anything you're doing around that is what is in focus. The bottom line is better focused on relationships because we have the man in the center. We've got the clover, clouds, and man, and then the lily and moon. So what's interesting is that the lily is also a card of work and career. And when we see it next to a person card, it can refer to a professional connection. The moon is also a card of offers. So I feel that this can really tie into this job offer or this new offer that you are going to get in the coming year. The clover and clouds is a lovely combination. The clover is one of the luckiest cards of the deck, and the clouds is generally challenging, suggesting that this person can be a bit tricky, or maybe you're confused about them. But what's nice about this pair specifically, and this is a special combination in my dictionary, is that you need to remove any negative thoughts out of your mind. Don't get negativity and doubts and suspicion get in the way of a potentially supportive relationship that we see through the triplet here. So this is someone who comes into play for you next year in order to help you turn into this new phase in your work and career. And this is really well mirrored by the top line. This is a supportive person, it's a professional person, and I feel you want to be gentle with them and, just make sure there's no negativity, no doubts, just be neutral, professional, and supportive. So a supportive line, I would say, in terms of our work and career. I want to highlight one possible area that could also be in focus for you, and that is the idea of parents and older people. That's because we have both the tower and the lily, and both of these cards have to do with senior people, people who are generally older than us, usually wiser, more experienced, and we do have the man in the middle here, so it can bring up someone who is senior to you. Usually that would be a parent, and in this regard there could be some practical things that you're working through with him for the long term. Maybe you're looking at something like your inheritance, or setting some groundwork for the longer term future, doing things around property, assets, and things like that because of the fish and fox. That's possible. Or it could be someone in authority who comes with support, and I think this comes through anyway. Through the tower and man. So let's move on to the columns. We have the fox and clover. This is lovely for work. The fox can be about the job, and if that's the case for you, then you should get some really good things happening for you on the job. You get lucky, you get a new job. We see through the child and clouds that something new is definitely at hand. The clouds is a bit tricky though, so it might feel for a while that you're working through some confusion and you're not really sure if you are going to move into this new beginning. Maybe you need someone's guidance, and I really think that the tower and man comes through for this, as we suggested that he does come through for you in the bottom line. So don't hesitate to seek the input and the advice and the perspective of someone who is more experienced. He could also be a manager, by the way. Maybe you want to reach out to him and find out more about what you can do. The letter in lily is an offer. The fish and moon is an offer with a wonderful financial element. So pretty clear to me that something comes through for you. We also look at the diagonals here. The letter and moon is an offer, and the lily and fish is a career with a really strong financial element. So this is really a lovely set of cards for you, Scissors group. I feel that your practical life, your financial life, your work life, or any of these comes through for you strongly this year. You could be changing jobs, moving into a new job, and you could also get an offer with a strong financial element. You could also be working on the long-term picture for you, especially in terms of money. So establishing your long-term security, focusing on retirement and pensions. And there is this gentleman who comes through. So all of these are key areas that are going to come up for you in the coming year. I just want to wrap up with a few more diagonals to sense check everything we said. The Fox, Clouds, and Tower, and then Lily and Fish. This is a powerful triplet for work and career, and also for long-term security. Very clear through the Tower, Lily, and Fish. The Fox and Clouds can point to some issues that you might be having on the job. Possibly you've had them for a while and now you're looking to make those changes in order to resolve this. But you could also be rethinking your long-term strategy, and this is definitely encouraged for you in the coming year. Rethink your long-term strategy. Make sure what you are doing is working for you for your long-term financial security and other forms of security. Clover, Child, Man, Letter and Moon. This is very clear to me that this is a new offer, right? We have the Letter and Moon, like we said earlier, and then the Child, Clover, a wonderful offer, and the Man in here in the middle of this set of diagonals is this person who probably comes through with the offer. So very clearly a wonderful set of cards for you materially, work-wise, financial security, any of these that could be in focus for you. Focus on this person, focus on this new beginning, rework your long-term strategy, whether you do this by what you invest in, by whom you consult, or the job you're in. All of this needs to be looked at in order to establish for yourself your long-term security. So I think this is a really positive set of cards, very nice for money and for success, especially on the long term. Let me know how you like these ideas, Scissors group. Leave me your thoughts and comments. And until we meet again, thank you so much for watching, and very best of luck with the coming year. Hello, Opalite group. Here we are with your reading, and we've got your lovely stone here sitting by. And my deck, it is always shuffled between readings. For your reading, Opalite, I want to do a portrait reading. And I'm gonna just deal out the cards into the night card portrait. So let's go ahead and see what are the main events for you in the coming year. All right, Opalite group, here is a very clear message of a new beginning for you in the coming year. So we have the Child right in the center of your portrait, and the Child is about anything new, new beginnings in every way. The Fox at the top of your portrait can point to the job, and I think it does point to the job or some source of income, whichever way you get it, whether it's through your business or through your job. And we also find the Fish. So that really tells me that this is about work, money, practical affairs. So definitely you want to seek a new job this year. So if it's not coming to you, it's also advised that you want to pursue it. The Letter, Child, and Bird is also about new beginnings, of course, because the Child is in the center here. The Letter is about a new offer, a piece of news that kicks off this new beginning. And the Bird being about communication, you may need to announce that you are starting something new. And notice that we also have the Letter and Bird together in this line. So pretty clear to me that you're in for a new job, a new source of income, a new phase in your business. And with the Letter and Bird, you're going to make an announcement about it. You could also be getting an offer or the news that helps you kick off this new beginning. So it's a pretty exciting set of cards so far. It is pretty clear to me as well. Now I want to move on to the Rose. This is a really interesting row because the Fox and Moon and the Bird. The Fox and Moon is a special combination in my dictionary that suggests that there is an offer that you should actually turn down. And the Bird here tells us that you need to turn it down. So, to feedback, to respond, to give an answer, because the Bird is a card of communication, especially verbal communication. So the fox with the moon suggests that this is an offer, but it's not really a good offer. It could even be a trap. So as you go through this new beginning, or maybe you sift through your options, there's going to be one or more option that you need to turn down. And probably two of them actually, because the bird is often associated with pairs. So think about this, Opalite group. Think about your options and decide which ones are going to work for you, which ones are not. And those that are not, you need to respond in feedback and say, thank you, I'm not going to go with this. The fox and moon can also suggest that some offers or some things that come your way are actually traps, or they're not really good, especially with the bird, which can add to the challenge that is often associated with the fox. So I want you to be aware of what's coming your way. Definitely get into the detail. And if you're not clear about anything, then don't hesitate to ask questions. I really want to insist about that with the bird. Now, the book child and woman, this probably points to a new relationship, a relationship with this woman. With the book, it tells us that it's not someone you know yet. So this can be another major event in your life. You meet this person. And let's continue with the T-cross here in the column. We have the bird, woman, and fish. She can be someone wealthy. She can be someone who supports you in your business. She might be a customer because of the fish. She's like a source of income. And the bird here suggests that there's quite a bit of conversation that you have with her. So it can be that you negotiate things, or you talk through matters with her. So this is a new relationship that supports your money in some way or other. Stay tuned for that. The letter heart and fish is really nice for money. It's also good for relationships. The letter and heart means news that makes you happy, and the fish is usually about money and income and abundance. So you're going to be happy with this new source of income, with how much more money you're going to be making, your financial prospects. I have to also say, because of the heart, it's possible that the relationship element comes through. And with the fish, there can be quite a bit of attraction. In relationships, the fish is about the physical life. So healthy sexuality, happy times, and so on. And this could be your prospects as well. If we look at the T-cross here of the central column, we have the moon, child, and heart. This points to an offer, a new beginning, and one that makes you happy. So it can mean a relationship, but honestly, I feel that the general theme of the cards is more towards work and money and these things, mainly because the fox covers you. Still, we could make room for this, and maybe the woman is that person in your life, or maybe you are her in this relationship dynamic. Any way you look at these cards, this is good news. Happy news brings in what you're after. So we've read a couple of columns. Let's go for the fox, book, and letter. This is interesting because the book and letter is another one of those special cards in my dictionary, and it indicates some very important news that comes soon enough. With the fox, this can be a job offer, and it can also mean that you need to be discreet about the news that comes through. You want to keep it under your hat until the time comes to take that new step. I have to say that with the book, knowledge can also be something that you pursue. Maybe you're upgrading. Maybe you want to delve deeper into a topic. Definitely encouraged to do that. But I feel that it's more about the news because of the letter here. So overall, this is a pretty exciting portrait reading for you, Opalite group. It's very clear to me that you're in for a new beginning, and it's very clear to me that this beginning has to do with your money, your job, your sources of income. You also meet a certain person who is really relevant to your money, how you make money, and you get happy news regarding money. So it's very likely that you're in for more money or a greater sense of abundance and prosperity in your life. So I would say, Opalite group, be really open to this new beginning and pursue it. Make it a point to turn the page and go into this new adventure. And as you sift through your options, remember that you're not going to accept every single option. So be discerning about which option is supportive to you and which one is not, and don't hesitate to turn down the ones that are not. So it helps really to be clear about what your priorities are, knowing yourself, your preferences. That will help you make the good decisions for you. So lovely set of cards again, Opalite group. Let me know what you make of them. Leave me your thoughts. I am really looking forward to them. And until we meet again, thank you so much for watching, and very best of luck with the coming year. Hello Key Group, here we are with your reading and your lovely charm sitting next to us here. And I've got my shuffle deck, and for your reading Key Group, I want to do a medium-sized hourglass. Remember, we are looking at the key events for you in the coming year. So we're going to look at these main themes, these main areas that are going to come up for you. So I'm ready for your cards. I'm going to deal out your medium-sized hourglass. Let's go ahead and look at them. All right, Key Group, here we are with your really interesting cards in this medium-sized hourglass for you. Key Group, the social element is coming through really clearly in your cards. We have the man and the dog, and this can point to a friendship. We have the dog and the rider, and this can point to new friendships or news. Now, the key combination that stands out for me is the scythe and coffin. This points to a major ending, and I think that it can point to the end of a relationship. So let's go ahead and weave your hourglass together. In the central row, we have the dog and rider. The dog represents friends, colleagues, peers, anyone in your age group really, anyone who is more or less equal to you, who is in your circles. And with the rider, it usually points to news, but it can also point to someone traveling, especially shorter trips. And it can also mean that there are new friendships in the making. The thing about the dog and rider is that the social element comes to the fore for you in the coming year. So you want to make time for friends, focus on people in your life, and you might want to make the effort to meet new friends or pay attention to your existing friends. You know, activities around friends, colleagues, siblings, and anyone in your peer group is highlighted for you in the coming year. In the top row, we have the clover, the scythe, and tower. So the clover is one of the luckiest cards of the deck, so this is going to mean that the line is really supportive. But the scythe and tower is a really interesting combination. It has to do with a release of the past. And when we look at this top line and how it T-crosses the central column, it is very clear to me that there is a major ending. Now, I know you're going to tell me that the scythe and coffin is like a scary combination, it's the death combination. Look, it's possible. But really, because of the clover and star, I'm not seeing that this is so much the theme. And because this is an event that is not as frequent as others, I need more cards to bring it out. So that's how I look at things. So the scythe and tower, the scythe and coffin, a release, an ending. And with the clover, it is definitely a good time for an ending. Look, this can be a breakup, okay? This might be a time when you are parting with someone. I'm not seeing the romantic cards, but it can apply in a romantic relationship or in a friendship. I also have to say that because the tower can be associated with work and career, it's possible that you are moving on from a job and going into a new one. We do have the dog and rider, and so this can mean new goals or a new sense of enthusiasm and momentum moving forward. Any way you look at these cards, there is a major ending and a really sharp one. There is an end of a phase. You are completely releasing the past. Now, the man, coffin, and star also points to the ending because of the coffin in the middle here. And the man points to the idea of a relationship. And the star is just like the clover in the top line. It has to do with wish fulfillment, a very lucky card, and healing. So definitely something is moving on here. You are moving on from a relationship, moving on from your involvement with this person and this context where this person is, and it is actually for the better. We have the clover and the star. It is very encouraging and very clearly telling us, this hourglass of yours, that something needs to end, specifically a relationship. Let's back up to the clover and man. This is someone who is really helpful, who is really supportive. So it's curious actually how this combination figures in the context of your hourglass, because I was reading the cards so far as pointing to the end of a relationship, and that can remain the case. But the clover and man here might actually help you bring something to a head, bring something to completion. So you might want to tap into him. You might want to seek his support for this radical change that you're going to experience this year. It's also possible that he is really understanding of your need to move on. He supports that. He understands what's going on. So you know, it's interesting because the coffin and scythe combination and the scythe and tower combination, they're very sharp indications of an ending, and yet we have these really positive cards in different combinations. So it is definitely an opportunity to put something to an end. You get a lucky break to move into a different direction. The Tower and Star is lovely for pursuing your ambitions, your hopes, your aspirations. It is definitely a time to really let go of what you want to let go of, so you can dedicate yourself and commit yourself to what you really want. And we see this through the Tower and Star. The Tower is a card of time and the long term, and we said that it can be a release of the past. It most often is with the Scythe and Star, Scythe and Tower. But with the Tower, this can be about, with the Star, and especially that the column is on the right-hand side of the hourglass, which has to do with the future-most parts of the story. This can be about your long-term goals. This is the time to start pursuing what is really meaningful to you. And I like this combination as well because it has a sense of guidance. So the Tower is a bit of a mystery card, and it has to do with the idea that your path is in the hands of the divine or some kind of mysterious force at play in your life. And with the Star, this is highlighted. So these are wonderful cards that pull you into your highest good, your aspirations. So go ahead and make that change so you can start doing these things. Now let's wrap up with a couple of diagonals. We have the V one here, we have the clover dog and the coffin, and then the rider and tower. I feel this is clearly about an ending like we saw several times, but I also feel that because of the rider and tower and the dog in this sense, you could be letting go of a job or a long-term phase. I have to say that you might also be wanting to grow up. So you could be putting behind you this phase when you were learning or you were growing into something, and now you're ready to take yourself up to the next level. And of course, in terms of friendships, we suggested that it's a good time to end this relationship and move on to something different, mainly pursuing your good and something more exciting for you. The man, dog, scythe, and then rider and star. This is where I feel that this man can be someone else or a different relationship, someone who helps you move into this change, someone who helps you bring this to a head. This is a friend, someone supportive. And with the scythe and rider, it could be a sudden breakthrough, a sudden opportunity to engage your momentum in a new way. And the rider and star has to do with goal achievement and achieving your ambitions. So it's interesting how the relationship element comes into play for you, key people, in 2021. You could be looking at ending certain relationships, but also tapping into others so that you can make that radical change. And I really feel it's a radical change, and pursue your goals, pursue your ambitions and your hopes. Wish fulfillment is at hand for you this year. We have two super powerful cards in this area. So I really want you to release everything that is in the way of you pursuing your highest good. This is an opportunity to make that turning point this year. The question is, will you take it? Will you be willing to change that much in order to engage your wonderful ambitions and aspirations? So a beautiful set of cards, very interesting. A very interesting mix of ideas here. Let me know what you make of them, Key Group. I'm really looking forward to your thoughts and comments. And until we meet again, take very good care of yourself and very best of luck with the coming year. Thank you so much for watching. Hello Goldstone group, welcome to your reading. Here we are with my shuffle deck and your lovely stone watching on the side here. And for you Goldstone group, I want to do a medium-sized diamond reading. Remember that we are focusing on the key events for you in the coming year. So my deck is shuffled as always. I'm just going to shuffle a little bit more and then we can go ahead and deal out your diamond. All right, Goldstone group, I have to say that I've been seeing a lot of recurring themes throughout the different readings in this Pick-A-Card reading, and the idea of an ending is very clearly coming through. The coffin is the main card that points to this, and notice that it comes next to the ring and the stork, so there is an important change here. What does stand out for me is the central card, Goldstone Group. Now, the thing about the book is that it's a little bit of a mysterious card. It can suggest that things remain somewhat closed for you and that you're still sailing through some uncertainty in the coming year. But the thing about the book is that it also has to do with learning and knowledge and delving into certain topics. So it's possible, Goldstone Group, that because of the book and ship and a number of other combinations, it's possible that you pick up a new field, that you dive into a new topic, and that you engage in a lot of discovery. I feel the key for you this year is going to be your willingness to discover new people, new places, and to really push the envelope in this year. So let's go right ahead and read the lines and put this diamond together in this interesting picture that I'm picking up here. In the first row, we have the clouds, the book, and the ship. So the ship being on the right-hand side of the diamond means that things remain open-ended. There isn't really a conclusion that you arrive at just yet. The book and ship can mean that you are setting sail in a direction that you don't really know much about yet. And with the clouds, before the book, there is that sense of uncertainty and lack of knowledge and needing to find that information. So just from looking at the central row here, we can see that you're in for a lot of exploring. The need to be open to possibility because things are not settled is really going to be key for you. The bird, book, and ring is also an interesting set of cards. The bird and book has to do with information, sharing information, needing to bring information out into the open. And the ring on the other side of the book is typically associated with proposals, sometimes of marriage. So I have to say that if relationships are something that are figuring for you in the coming year, or they figure for you now and you're deepening your relationship, a commitment is possible. But I don't feel that this is the main theme in light of the diamond here, Goldstone Group. I feel that this is more about knowledge, information, and the book and ring is very much about commitment to finding answers. I think this is going to be really key for you, and I have to say that this is pretty unique. Let's move on to the square cards. We have the social element that comes into play, and I have to back up a bit and say that the bird is about communication. So like we said, the idea of proposals can bring in people into the picture. The woman, bear, coffin, and stork. The idea of change and endings is very much clear through this set of cards here. The woman and bear points to someone important in your life. She can be a parent, a mother, a manager, someone who is strong, and has some influence in your life. What's interesting is that there's the coffin and stork. So usually when these two figure together, it means that something that was on hold now comes back into play. And it's interesting because the book is also a card of being closed, things possibly being on hold, but with the ship on the right-hand side of the line, there is the idea that something opens up and you move, you set sail, you move forward. And so similarly in the square cards, this person who might have been away on hold or, not coming through comes back into the picture. And she helps you kick things off and move things forward. The woman, book, and coffin can mean that she'd been a mysterious person, like away, not coming through, just like we said. But then the stork, coffin, and the stork, book, and bear points to an important revelation. The stork helps open up the book, and the bear is about all things important. So this can be some important information, some important knowledge. It's also, again, suggesting the idea that you delve into a certain topic. It has that discovery element to it. And the bear is really engaged here. And it's also encouraging you to really step up to this research project or this discovery prospect that you're in for. So some really interesting cards here. We have the bird, bear, and ship. This points to an important trip. That's another area that could be coming through for you. We have a number of cards here that can point to travel. We have the stork, the bird, and ship, and the ship is on the right-hand side. It's pretty possible that you're in for an important trip. If not, this is an important venture, an important project that you really want to engage in and step up to. And then we have the ship, coffin, and ring. So again, this is where I'm seeing this ending, like I mentioned earlier. And the thing about it T crossing this diagonal here is that this woman might have been away This is what had caused things to be on hold for a while. So that's another possibility. But with the ship, coffin, and ring, it's possible that you're at the end of the journey, and this is where there's this kind of mystery about the next phase. The ring, stork, and clouds is lovely for shaking things up. The ring and stork re-engages a relationship. So I feel again that this woman was away for a while, but then she's back into the picture, and we see this T crosses this diagonal. And so you're able to set sail, you get the green light to move forward. Even if you don't have all the answers yet, you really want to move forward. And the ring, stork, and clouds helps you navigate through some uncertainties, some things that are clouded. And the thing about these cards is that they are actually encouraging you to move forward even if you don't have all the answers. So in other words, doing something is better than not doing anything at all. And so there is a very active element to these cards. The clouds, woman, and bird can mean that conversations are a little bit all over the place with this woman. She was out of touch, as we saw through the T crossing diagonal here. And it was really about getting her to respond and having her back into the picture so that you can kick off again and set sail. So she seems to be playing a pretty important part for you in the coming year. But I think the key theme for you is this discovery process that is ahead for you, this being open to a new venture, being willing to explore and discover, even if you don't have all the answers. Be willing to learn, to delve into knowledge, to deal in information, to ask questions. The idea of being curious and inquisitive is really, really key for you, Goldstone group, in the coming year. So I have to say this is a pretty unique set of cards. Honestly, I haven't seen anything like it before. Every reading is unique. Let me know your thoughts, what you make of them. Please tell me what you think you're going to be discovering next year, what you think you're going to focus on learning more about. I'm really looking forward to learning about that from you. So best of luck with this. This looks really exciting. And until we meet again, take very good care of yourself, and thank you so much for watching.